Hello, Toon Army. What an absolutely brilliant day to be talking about our magnificent Newcastle United, the best team in the world. Now then, here's something that's got me buzzing with excitement and a bit of concern all at once. What do you think about our boy Tino Livramento's recent comments about wanting to keep winning trophies with Newcastle? Does it give you confidence that he'll stay put despite all this Manchester City nonsense floating about? Right, let's dive straight into this Tino Livramento situation because it's got everything we love and worry about as Newcastle fans wrapped up in one story. Our lad Tino has been absolutely sensational since he arrived from Southampton, hasn't he? 22 years old and already looking like he's been wearing the black and white stripes his entire life. The way he's adapted to both flanks, right back and left back, shows the kind of versatility that makes him such a valuable asset to our squad. What really gets me excited about this whole situation is hearing Tino speak about winning trophies with Newcastle. When he says to win anything for this club has been a massive achievement and long may it continue, you can hear the genuine passion in those words. This isn't some player going through the motions or saying what he thinks the fans want to hear. This is a young man who understands what it means to pull on our shirt and represent this incredible city. The fact that he specifically mentions seeing what it means to the supporters really shows he gets it, doesn't it? He talks about how everyone across the city supports the club and bringing a cup home for them was something special. That's the kind of connection between player and supporters that you just can't manufacture. It has to be genuine, and with Tino, it absolutely is. Now let's address the elephant in the room, this Manchester City interest. According to reports, they're ready to launch a $40 million bid for our defender, with some sources suggesting his value could be as high as $70 million. Pep Guardiola apparently hasn't given up on signing him, and you can understand why. City have had their struggles at right back, with players like Matheus Nunes having to fill in there and Kyle Walker's form dropping off before his loan spell at AC Milan. But here's what gives me confidence as a Newcastle fan: Eddie Howe and the club's stance on this whole situation. The manager has made it clear that it's frustrating when players are constantly linked with moves away, but more importantly, Newcastle have no plans to let Tino leave. That's the kind of statement you want to hear from your club when vultures are circling around your best players. The timing of this interest couldn't be more telling, could it? We've just secured Champions League qualification for next season, which means we're not under the same financial pressure to sell that we might have been in previous years. We're building something special at St. James Park, and keeping our best players is absolutely crucial to that project. What makes Tino so special isn't just his defensive abilities, though those are impressive enough. It's his pace, his crossing ability, and the way he can contribute in the final third. He featured in 37 of our 38 Premier League matches this season, which tells you everything about how highly Eddie Howe rates him. That kind of consistency from a 22-year-old is remarkable. The international recognition he's been getting with England under-21s and his senior debut last November just confirms what we already knew. We've got a special talent on our hands. He's helping England under-21s try to retain their European championship crown, and performances like that only increase his value and the attention he receives from other clubs. But here's what Manchester City and any other interested clubs need to understand. Newcastle United isn't the same club that was forced to sell our best players anymore. We've got ambition, we've got backing, and most importantly, we've got a clear vision for where we want to be. Tino Livramento is a huge part of that vision. The fact that we're looking to strengthen our squad this summer rather than weaken it by selling key players shows exactly where our priorities lie. We want to add depth and quality to compete on multiple fronts, including the Champions League. Selling someone of Tino's caliber would be completely counterproductive to those ambitions. When Tino talks about the long-term future and winning more trophies with Newcastle, it gives me genuine hope that he sees his future here at St. James Park. This is a player who could easily have his head turned by the glamour and guaranteed trophies at Manchester City. But instead, he's talking about building something special with us. Right then, where was I? Oh yes, our brilliant Tino and this whole Manchester City saga that's got everyone talking. You know what really strikes me about this entire situation? It perfectly encapsulates where Newcastle United stands right now as a football club. We're no longer the selling club that gets picked apart every summer by the so-called bigger teams. We're building something genuinely special here, and players like Tino Livramento are starting to see that vision becoming reality. Let's talk about the numbers being thrown around, shall we? £40 million from Manchester City, with some valuations putting Tino at £70 million. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, that's serious money, the kind that would have had previous Newcastle administrations reaching for their calculators faster than you could say financial fair play. This isn't the old Newcastle, is it? This is a club with proper ambition and the backing to match those dreams. What gets me most excited about Tino's comments is the maturity he's showing for such a young player. At 22, he could easily have his head turned by Manchester. City coming calling!
They're the reigning champions, they've got Pep Guardiola, and they can offer guaranteed trophies and Champions League football every season. But listen to what our lad is saying. He wants to build something here at Newcastle, to be part of our journey rather than jumping ship for an easier ride. That speaks volumes about both the player's character and what Eddie Howe and the coaching staff have built at our club. The culture at St. James Park has completely transformed, hasn't it? Players want to stay, they want to fight for the shirt.
And they understand what it means to represent this incredible city and fan base. The tactical side of things is fascinating too. Tino's versatility at both right back and left back makes him incredibly valuable in modern football. Eddie Howe loves that flexibility, and it's allowed us to adapt our system depending on the opposition and the specific demands of each match. When you've got a player who can perform at that level on either flank, you're not just buying one position, you're getting cover and quality for two. Manchester City's interest makes perfect sense from their perspective. Kyle Walker's getting on a bit, and his loan spell at AC Milan showed that even Pep wasn't entirely convinced he was the long-term answer anymore. Matheus Nunes filling in at right back was clearly a makeshift solution, and Rico Lewis, while talented, is still developing. They need someone who can step in immediately and perform at the highest level. But here's what Guardiola and Manchester City might not fully appreciate. They're not just trying to sign a player, they're trying to break up something special that's being built at Newcastle. Tino isn't just a right back or left back to us. He's become integral to how we play, how we think about the game, and how we approach each match. The connection he's developed with our supporters is something you simply can't put a price on. When he talks about seeing what winning a trophy means to Newcastle fans, about bringing a cup home for them, that's the kind of emotional investment that goes far beyond any contract or transfer fee. That's a player who understands he's not just representing 11 players on a pitch. He's carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire region. Eddie Howe's frustration about constant transfer speculation around our players is completely understandable, but it's also a sign of our success, isn't it? When Manchester City, one of the best teams in the world, are trying to poach your players, it means you're doing something right. It means the quality we're producing and the environment we're creating is being noticed at the very highest level. The Champions League qualification changes everything for us as well. We're not just another Premier League club anymore. We're competing with Europe's elite, and that means we need to keep our elite players. Selling Tino now would send completely the wrong message about our ambitions and our ability to compete at that level. What I love about Newcastle's response to all this speculation is how firm and clear it's been. No mixed messages, no "we'll consider any reasonable offer" nonsense. Just a straightforward statement that we have no plans to sell. That's the kind of backing every manager dreams of, and it's exactly what Eddie Howe deserves after the incredible job he's done transforming this club. Looking ahead to next season, having Tino in our squad for the Champions League is going to be absolutely crucial. The step up in quality and intensity is massive, and having experienced, reliable defenders who can perform consistently at the highest level will make all the difference. His pace and defensive awareness will be vital against some of the world's best attackers. The international recognition he's been getting just adds another layer to his development as well. Playing for England at various levels, competing in major tournaments, facing different styles of play, all of that experience makes him a better player for Newcastle United. We're benefiting from his growth on the international stage, and that's exactly how it should be. What gives me the most confidence about this whole situation is Tino's own words and attitude. When a player starts talking about long-term success, about building something special, about understanding what the club means to its supporters, those aren't the words of someone planning his exit strategy.
Those are the words of a player who's found his home and wants to be part of something bigger than himself. Well, that's all from St. James Park for today, lads and lasses. Tino Livramento's commitment to our cause fills me with optimism for what we can achieve together. Keep
supporting the best team in the world, and I'll be back with more updates soon. Away the lads!